Hey guys, I thought it would be really fun to make a video on my last day of some of my thoughts and insights that I've had on this solo trip to Lisbon, aka Lisboa in Portugal. And if you don't know, this is my favorite place in the world, and I haven't been back for 7 years, and it's just been an amazing experience to come back because I've sort of been reliving some of the same things and reminding myself of why I fell in love with this place, but also because for me it's a full circle moment. See, I started to solo travel when I was around 21 years old, and Lisboa was the second place that I came to, and it was a very special time in my life to discover that I was fully capable of solo travel and that it was actually super enjoyable. It's been one of the things that's really changed my life. I mean, travel in general, but being able to travel alone has truly empowered me, especially as a woman, to be able to take on the world like that. I actually have another video of why you should travel on your own and all this stuff, but what I wanted to touch on in this video is just like what I've learned throughout the years and yeah, what that full circle moment looks like for me. It's been really epic to return because I've held this place so dearly in my heart. I've literally had dreams that I am visiting again. I've been wanting to come back for forever, and it's a dream come true to be here again. And it's also a lot to hold a place up so high in your mind because it has to meet a lot of expectations, right? So it's also interesting to come back and try not to have the same sort of expectations that it's going to be the exact same way that it was 7 years ago. And I'm finding that true. It's actually gotten so much more touristy. So I feel like that realness and that rawness and that authenticity that I felt when I first came here, some of that is gone. But today, on my last day, I had the privilege of taking a walk. I'm on my way up to Mirador that a friend recommended. It's supposed to be, I think, the highest or the best view of the city or something. I walked through some streets that were less populated, less touristy, and I was able to kind of peek into the authentic Lisboa life where there were people, you know, just going about their day that actually live here. That like warmed up my heart and kind of allowed me to get that same sense of authenticity that I felt. I think because last time I was here, I had visited other places in Europe, and Europe is just a super touristy place in general. So I found it so refreshing that Lisbon was still a little bit like a hidden treasure in a way. I know a lot of Europeans probably were aware of how amazing this place was, but it was never on my radar until I studied abroad in Spain and got a chance to go to Lagos, Portugal, loved it so much, and then I checked out Lisbon and have ever since been super in love with Portugal. And yeah, I'm just happy to be here, and I think I just wanted to make a video too about solo travel. I was inspired to talk about this because it's literally changed my life. I mean, traveling has changed my life, but giving myself the opportunity to go places on my own has been so crucial. I don't think I would have traveled as much if I had waited for other people to join me. Also, if I had waited to have X amount of money. Like, I am a solo budget traveler for the most part, and that is what's given me the opportunity to visit so many places, is initially getting out of my comfort zone and being able to do that and giving myself permission to do it and jumping in. So if you are interested in traveling the world, I urge you to try and just get out of your comfort zone and do things a little differently and with less maybe expectations, and I think that'll give you a better chance of seeing more of the world. I recently reached a goal of mine that I made when I was 16 years old to visit 25 countries, and I have been to 25 countries now. And it's an amazing feat for me. I don't think I give enough props to myself for doing it. Yeah, it's crazy to think about, and I'm so lucky and so privileged in so many ways. But so many of those places I visited when I didn't have that much money and when I didn't have anyone to go with. And the first time I traveled by myself, I was so scared, and I was also embarrassed that I had no one to go with. But I really wanted to go to Paris, and I was studying abroad in Spain, and my friends weren't available that weekend or something, so I'm like, fuck it, I'm just gonna go. I planned out, like, I looked at a map and figured out exactly how I was gonna get to my hostel, and like, you know, wrote down some phrases I might need to know in French, and like, I was just super prepared and did my research before I got to my hostel, and like, everything went smooth. I remember being able to figure out the train system. I was like, I fucking got this, and that just gave me such a surge of confidence to know that I was fully capable of doing it. And then I started to meet so many people that were traveling on their own. And before I actually started, I had met some women like in El Salvador that were passing through and traveling on their own. And I thought that was cool and brave as fuck, because so many people are scared to even visit El Salvador, let alone alone as a woman. So like, to see that, and to see the fact that they were out there for months all over Latin America, and they were fine, and they were having a great time, and they were so independent, I really looked up to those women, and I really wanted to be one of those women that could just like take over the world in that way. And I am sorry about the noise. I think it's really windy, so I'm sure that'll affect the noise quality of the video, but thank you for hanging in there if you're still there. I do remember experiencing loneliness and journaling about it, and having kind of this ache in my heart. And I do experience loneliness still when I travel on my own sometimes, but it's different because I already kind of know what that feels like, and I already know that that is not a permanent feeling, and it's just something to experience and kind of get comfortable with. Just like any negative emotion or anything that might be uncomfortable, we kind of just have to surrender to it and let it pass through us. And I'm a different person for it, in a good way. Like, I am my own fucking best friend. I can say that with all confidence. Like, I really truly enjoy my own company now, and I know I have my own back, and I love myself. And of course, self-love is something that journey is never gonna end. I'm still going through a lot of learning how to love myself more and more and more, but traveling alone really allowed me to get to know myself better, get to know what I desire, have the ability to choose how I want to spend my day without having to talk to anyone else about it. And all that sort of led me to knowing myself and loving myself and accepting myself, and I wouldn't trade that for the world. When I do get lonely, whether I'm traveling on my own or back in New York or whatnot, I just use it to my advantage, and I use it as a time to go inward and reconnect with myself. So I'll do that either through journaling, or I love to have conversations with myself. And the way that I do this is I basically open up my recording app, and I just literally talk to myself as if I were talking to a friend on the phone. And I talk about what I'm feeling, what I'm experiencing, what insights I'm having. And it's honestly very healing to be able to do that with myself. So if you're ever feeling lonely, I definitely recommend you just using it as an opportunity to be your own best friend and be your support system, and see what comes up for you with that. And traveling solo doesn't necessarily mean that you have to spend the whole time alone, or that you're going to be lonely, because some of my best experiences traveling have been when I met new people, and I did that by being able to stay in hostels, because hostels can be very social, so much better for making friends than if you were staying at a hotel where everyone just kind of keeps to themselves, or maybe they're traveling with someone else. But in hostels, there's a lot of people that are traveling on their own and are open to making friends, and there's just more of this like welcoming vibe from what I've experienced. And I've met some truly amazing individuals and connected to people on a deep level that I've met traveling. And the other day, just while I was here in Lisbon, I made some friends from Spain, and it was really fun, like speaking Spanish and just getting to know these girls and wandering the city. And there's nothing like meeting new people and exploring a new place. It truly makes me feel alive, and I wish that for all of us, to be able to just welcome these new experiences with open arms. You know, does take some getting out of our comfort zone, staying in hostels is not always the most comfortable thing. Sometimes they can be dirty or loud or whatnot, so I do recommend looking up on Hostel World some reviews to check out the hostel and see what people are saying about it. But yeah, it's not like 100% comfortable all the time, but that's what leads to these like amazing experiences. So I urge you from the bottom of my heart that if it's calling to you to see the world, to maybe start doing it before you feel totally ready. If you're waiting for people to join you, just go alone and see what it's like. If you're waiting to have a ton of money so that you can have like this luxury experience, I say just do it on a budget level, see what it's like, see if it's okay with you to even stay in a hostel, see if you're open to it. I mean, it's worth trying at least just for a couple days, maybe somewhere near your hometown, who knows, but just try different things and see what comes of it, and just do it before you feel 100% ready, because that's what's led me to be able to have so many incredible experiences. And I really feel like I'm called to just share about how accessible travel can be if we're not like waiting for the perfect timing or the perfect amount of money. Like, just go for it. And if you have any questions, feel free to comment down below. Yeah, I'm just feeling very, very grateful for my life and these opportunities that I've had, and I hope that you get to have them too. If you don't already follow me on Instagram, I am sharing my Lisbon travels on there on my stories. There's a highlight on my profile called LIS for Lisbon, and you can see some of my photos from my adventure there. And if you'd also like to, you can subscribe to my weekly newsletter, my weekly motivation that I write every week, and I pour my heart into those newsletters. So if you're interested, subscribe below. All right, love you guys. Have a great day.